They're not ready. But it was made for quite the interesting day. So, one of the top 5 questions: are you actually in the courthouse, or are you somewhere else? I'm like, no, I'm in the courthouse. This is my courtroom, because a lot of people do it with backdrops, backgrounds. I'm like, no, it's my courtroom. You can see the stuff that's on my, you know, sitting here by myself. No, it's fine. It's so this is that's the third picture. Nina Villarilla, 5th grade from Wick Elementary. She's been up here all this week. Good job. And next week, the last one is Kiara O'Leary. The problem is, not problem. The issue is that it's in pencil, so it's hard to see. So I have to figure out how to have it. So when I'm in here, it is reading whatever's next again for probably the third time, or checking the docket to see what's next, or somebody comes walking through. On Wednesdays, when it's busy, I keep the door open so I can see out to the hallway. Other than that, the little magic sheet.
I didn't see that.
The problem is when she wants to send me something, she just passes over the top because you can send it up here. Um, I would like to have that showing, and people can't see it. So when people actually come into the courtroom, they're like, "Oh, that's cute," because that's the. You see over my shoulder, you see the American flag and Lady Justice and the phone and some books and stuff. You can't see that. You had to have seen it from coming in here, because that's the camera. There's no view where you can see it. I can zoom out and adjust the camera so you can, but then it's, I think it makes it look weird. October, I think. Marianne will know. Good morning, Miss Rapp.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I know that Ms. Patton is here. I was waiting for it. Good morning, Mr. Hadley.
Good morning, Your Honor. I just need to speak. I had a chance to speak with Ms. Patton briefly. I had a chance to speak with Ms. Rapp. I just need a brief moment with Ms. Patton, and then we'll be all ready to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, what did I just hit? I did it wrong. Okay, there we go.
Mr. Hadley breaking our nice stuff. I have never noticed your P number. That is nice. So our license number with the state. Mr. Hadley's is 80080.
Oh, it's
That
a
is cute.
smooth, even number.
What are they on now? 85, I think.
Pretty high up there in the 8s. They have to be.
what happens when we get to, mhm.
The second one?
I have no idea what'll happen
On which one?
when they get to 10.
Oh, gosh. I mean, hopefully it's a while. I don't, are they in nines yet or no?
They're not 9 yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what do you do? Add an extra,
I don't know if they'll recycle, go back to the beginning. Because they
True.
started assigning P numbers in the 73, 74, something like that.
okay.
And I don't know if you still can, but at one point when you were a student, law student, you could apply for a number. So when you
Oh.
finally got admitted to practice, your number would make it look like you were a few years older than what you are, which is sneaky and it was smart, but
Oh, it's very sneaky because that's one thing I do look at attorneys. Like, oh, they haven't been an attorney very long, or oh, they've been attorneys since they're 5.
the man I worked for when I first got out of law school, he was 16, 17, something like that. He was one of the original assignment groups, the people who were already practicing when they instituted the P number.
Okay.
'85. Holy smokes. That's when you're younger, you don't think about it. But then as you get a little older, you listen to other people's numbers and the first time I heard a 79 or 80, I went,
Because you're 5, right? Is your
Yep.
start with, okay. Yeah, it's weird to see like 8s. I feel like 7s are very common right now.
I agree with you. For our court, at least.
Yes.
The inane conversation of the morning as we wait for a 9:15 case. I try to be entertaining in between files.
I enjoy it.
Ooh, I love the ceiling.
Oh, thank you.
That is nice.
Thanks. No credit, it came with it.
I was talking to someone a few days ago that just finished building their first home. And they just moved in. They haven't been there a full month. And they're already saying they wish they had done this, that, and the other. And that's one of the things that kept me from ever thinking about building new.
Oh my,
That's too many decisions. That's too much.
so many decisions because it's like the hardware on the cabinets you have to decide. Like that's a big thing that you wouldn't think about. Like the backsplash, the colors, everything. That's too much for me.
We went 23 years without hardware in the kitchen. He just put knobs on last summer, I think, and it took us a month to
I think
decide.
Parents didn't have that for a while too.
We are all set to go whenever on
When
Miss
Miss Patton
Patton.
comes out. Okay.
Yes. Let's see if I can move her back.
Wait, so they didn't have knobs until, did they have knobs now?
Yeah, they have knobs now, but I don't think when we were kids, I don't think that they had. I think it was just like we would open the door with the
So
hand.
grab your little fingerprints, yeah.
Yep. Little dirt fingerprints all over
Here
the.
we are. This is 220046OD. This is Van Buren Township versus Arlena Patton. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley appearing on behalf of the defendant probationer, Miss Arlena Patton. Miss Patton, can you please state your name for the court?
Arlena Elaine Patton.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on the notice of probation violation submitted to this court by probation officer Shannon Rapp. Ms. Patton, it's alleged that on July 27, 2022, the probation department received documentation that you had tampered with your alcohol monitor from 9 a.m. until 5:19 PM on July 6th by introducing an obstruction between your leg and the monitor. That in addition to tampering with the monitor, the tether detected alcohol. You had successfully completed outpatient treatment, that you owe a remaining balance in this case of $500, that you had had no new offenses to your driving or criminal history. Mr. Hadley, you've had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Patton. Your
Absolutely.
response to this?
In Your Honor, just for the file to be noted, Ms. Patton just shared with me that she paid off that $500 balance today.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Your Honor. So yeah, Ms. Patton and I discussed this matter. I think it's going to be, and I talked to Ms. Rapp. It's going to be our decision to move forward and plead responsible with an explanation as to the alleged tampering.
The explanation?
Your Honor, Ms. Patton had a lot of correspondence back and forth with the monitoring company. There was problems with the fitting of the device. She's got numerous pictures showing that it was causing her, sores, discomfort, and she elected to use a ACE athletic bandage that she wrapped around the device. She understands that is technically a tamper. We know why she did it, but she understands that she's not able to do that. It is Ms. Patton's position that regarding the alcohol testing, we believe that the alcohol tests were a false positive, or perhaps just something to do with the tamper itself. She would like the court to know that it's her position she's been entirely abstinent as ordered by the court during this process. I'm not going to put words in Ms. Rapp's mouth about their position, obviously, about the alcohol results, but I just want to share with the court Ms. Patton is sober and is still walking the walk.
Ms. Rapp?
The alcohol levels were very low. They were like 0.02, 0.01. So it is a possibility that it was a false positive on that. What I would recommend is that we schedule the defendant for twice per month testing to continue until the end of probation.
And I discussed that with Ms. Patton, Your Honor, and she would absolutely be in agreement with that and just wants to get this, obviously finished up and move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Ms. Patton, is there anything you'd like to say?
I wrapped the ACE bandage around my ankle underneath the machine because when the lady put it on, I have skinny ankles and she couldn't get it any tighter where it stayed in one position, and it would move up and down and twist around, and it was causing a sore on the back of my ankle. So I wrapped it underneath it. I wasn't trying to tamper with it.
But
And I haven't had a drink since November 21st, 2021.
Thank you, Ms. Patton. The court will accept your plea through Mr. Hadley of responsible for the violation, and will adopt the recommendation from probation agent Shannon Rapp and include two times per month testing through the remainder of your probation. We currently have you scheduled for probation through May 13th of 2023. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Hadley?
no, Your Honor, we thank the court for this time. Ms. Rapp, thank you. And Ms. Patton, good luck with everything. Just stay in contact with your probation officer. You're going to be fine.
What's wrong, Ms. Patton?
I gotta do jams twice a month.
That's
All
yes.
the way
ma'am.
to May.
You are a candidate to be discharged early from probation if you complete all terms and conditions under the new Michigan law. If you've done everything you're supposed to do at the halfway point, that's when the jams testing can stop. But you've got to continue to follow all the other terms of probation, and that's where it can be done sooner than May. Does that make sense?
Okay. I don't have a
Thank you,
problem.
Mr. Hadley. Thank you, Ms. Patton.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have
Have
a
a good day.
wonderful day.
Have a good day, Ms.
You
Patton.
as well.
Thank you.
We're done?
You're
We're
all set
done,
for today,
ma'am.
Ms.
You
Patton.
may
Have a good
leave
weekend.
if you just leave out the door to your left, the court officers will take care of the rest.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Berger, good morning, sir.
Is Mr. Berger on is he one of our show causes today? I don't think I see that one.
He is not. That's why I'm
Okay.
trying to find out why he's here so we can get him where he's supposed to be.
Understood.
Mr. Berger? Mr. Berger? Mr. Berger?
He was off mute for a 1 second. I saw the
I know,
microphone.
it's fine. I think I know who it is.
Okay. If you'd like a little levity on your Friday morning, so I learned a very valuable lesson yesterday. As you guys can tell, I'm a little casual sometimes with how I, talk to people. I was in front of the Court of Appeals yesterday, had a pretty hot bench. And at one point in my rebuttal, I referred to the 3-justice panel with 2 female judges and a male judge as you guys. I said, as you guys are all familiar, and I got stopped dead in my tracks by one of the justices. And she said, you guys? I looked up for my notes. I didn't even know where I was for a moment. I mean, I just froze. And I said, did I say you guys? She goes, twice. So I spent the next 2 minutes profusely apologizing and trying to find my place on my outline to get back to my rebuttal. And I can guarantee you, Your Honor, I will never refer to you as you guys or yous guys or any other judge moving forward in my career.
I was called Miss the other day, and it doesn't typically bother
While you were on
me,
the-
but the way
On the bench?
the person said it was very dismissive. Yes, Miss.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
I said, Your Honor, is probably. I think that we have just become very informal. And as simple as I ask a question, somebody says, yeah, I'm like, no, it's yes. During the course of taking the plea, I need you to be a little bit more precise in your language, but you guys, wow.
Yeah, you guys, it just came right out of me. I bartended for years. I think I just slipped right into like the used car salesman, like when I start getting on a roll. So yeah, I will never do that again. It was so embarrassing. And I was second case called on the docket. So I had a room full of people that I'd gone to law school with, former associates at the state appellate defender's office. They all got treated to a nice, like, oh, we got it.
Mark Berger.
Your Honor, can you hear me?
Mr. Grant.
Yes,
Yes.
I apologize. I heard you calling Mark Berger. I had to sign, I'm with probation. And I signed in on the laptop and I don't know where Mark Berger came from as a sign-in name.
Oh, hilarious, because there was a Mark Berger who was supposed to be here 2 days ago.
I was
So
just
I'm
looking
thinking
up.
that maybe somebody was late.
So, no, I heard you and then I looked over at the docket and I didn't see the name either. And I apologize. I'm like, oh my goodness, she might be talking to me.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
So my apologies.
No apologies necessary, sir. You had us, had the court concerned for a moment that somebody was 2 days late.
I'm not sure how it got into my laptop as the sign-on though, so,
Your laptop has a secret life.
yeah.
Mine said Alan Fred when I came on, so it's just that type of day.
beautiful Friday. Well, it started off a little chilly this morning.
It was a little chilly this morning.
When I went out with the dog the first time, I said, ooh, and she's out there taking longer than she should take when it's a little nippy in the morning, but
Same with our dogs.
I talked to your dad and suggested to him a tie-out chain.
Our one dog is too strong and we don't have like a tree that it wouldn't work.
We use cinder blocks.
Oh, do you?
Cinder blocks and 40-foot tie out. So when she's out with us, we just take the tie out and it has the metal hook and hook it to her collar.
Okay.
If she can drag 2 cinder blocks, she earned that freedom.
He probably can. I can't walk him because he's so strong. Drew has to do it. I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
It just keeps her from wandering off. Even though she's 100 pounds, she's not going to run, like drag the blocks away, but she'll meander and I'll look up and she might be 2 doors down and I just can't have that happen.
Right.
So if you guys, if you have other things you need to do, the 9:30s are running a little late. It appears no one's checked in, and then we have 9:45. I will go back in my office, and if somebody comes, Marianne will let us know. I won't do the failures to appear until the end of the docket, so closer to 10 o'clock when we're 15 minutes past our last schedule. If you have other things you want to do and go dark for a moment.
I'll keep the volume up and sit tight. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Thank you, Ms. Rapp.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, Josh, do you need a breakout room with Miss Wright?
I've not had a chance. Yep, I've not had a chance to speak with Miss Wright yet.
Okay, Miss Wright, I'm gonna send you an invitation to join a breakout room to speak with your attorney, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Rapp,
Yes, Your Honor.
these are 152542 OM and 154798 OD. 152542 is City of Romulus versus David William Randall, and 154798 is Sumter Township versus David William Randall. These matters were scheduled for 9:30 this morning. It's now 9:56 by this court's clock. The 2542 case was scheduled for show cause, and 154798 was scheduled for bench warrant arraignment. As for the 2542 case scheduled for show cause this morning, based on the defendant's failure to appear as requested by, directed by this court. Bench warrant shall issue in this matter.
Your Honor, the bench warrant is still active on that case.
Thank you, ma'am. It was under the white sheet. Thank you. Make a notation that Mr. Randall failed to appear as of 9:56. Same notation in the other file. I see the green sticker on the front of that file. I'll send the files back downstairs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20HR13716 AOD. This is Huron Township versus James Taylor. This matter was scheduled for show cause. Defendant's failure to complete paperwork necessary for his pre-sentence investigation, despite repeated requests from the probation department. The case was scheduled at 9:30. It is now 9:58 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Ms. Rapp, how do you wish to proceed?
Probation recommends that a warrant be entered on this case.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll make that notation in the file, send it back downstairs. Bench warrant, 5,010%. This is 220033 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Deontay Johnson. This matter was scheduled for show cause at 9:45. It's now 9:59 by this court's clock. Court's policy is typically 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. It's now 10 a.m. Mr. Johnson was scheduled for show cause at 9:45. It now being 10 o'clock. The defendant having failed to appear. Ms. Rapp, how does the probation department wish to proceed?
Probation recommends that a warrant be entered on this case.
inch warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. The file will be back downstairs shortly. I note that Mr. Hadley has gone into the breakout room with our remaining file for the morning.
And Miss Wright should be appearing with us in just a moment.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley.
Absolutely.
This is
Hello?
22BL00110AOD. This is City of Belleville versus Wright. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley appearing on behalf of the defendant probationer, Ms. Kania Wright. Ms. Wright, can you please state your name for the court?
Kania Wright.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for show cause hearing in this matter. This court has received the report from the probation department that Ms. Wright has failed to provide documentation of AA and NA attendance or NA attendance, failed to provide documentation of substance abuse treatment, failed to complete the court-ordered 60 days on alcohol monitor, failed to comply with her payment plan. Ms. Wright, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Hadley. Mr. Hadley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, after having a chance to speak with Ms. Wright and advise her of her rights in a violation of probation hearing, we would like to plead responsible to the allegations with explanation.
The explanation is?
In short, Your Honor, money. Ms. Wright has unfortunately had an extremely rough run in the past several months, including an eviction that she's still going through. She's without a vehicle. So really, as we ran through the to-do list of things that she's supposed to be complying with, at the end of almost each of these trails is, I don't have the money right now to satisfy that or to get to where I need to. She is, my understanding is making steps moving forward, But that's sort of what got us here, was her inability to pay.
Ms. Rapp?
Well, we would be able to get her, really quick. Are you a Wayne County resident?
No, Ypsilanti.
Ypsilanti. There are places where you can do free treatment through in Ypsilanti. So you would be able to do that without money. AANA is also free, so that's something that does not cost money as well.
I'm
And
actually involved with Don's farm.
you're currently
about-
attending Dawn Farm.
Yeah, I just missed last week and the week before, so I don't know how that's gonna play off, but I did miss like 2 weeks. It's every Monday at 5:30.
And Miss Wright also shared with me that she's been working, or could be working with was it Washtenaw Community Health as well. Is that correct, Miss Wright?
Yes, I work with them and I see them once a month.
So probation would recommend, if you're already going to Dawn Farm, is to adjourn this 30 days to provide me documentation of treatment and documentation of that AA for compliance, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Rapp. The court will adopt the recommendation from Shannon Rapp of the probation department. Will adjourn this matter at least 30 days to the court's next available probation hearing date. Notice will be sent to Ms. Wright at the address that the court has on record. Ms. Wright,
Yes, ma'am.
this court's typical policy during the course of sentencing is to advise the defendant that this court wants you to be successful on probation, wants you to be able to complete every one of the terms contained in your sentence. And if you're having difficulty, to reach out to the probation department. And I know that when the rest of life happens and life happens in abundancy, that we get distracted. But please be mindful of the fact, again, that this court wants you to be successful in all possible treatment so that you can have a productive life. And if you reach out to the probation department by phone, by email, they are very responsive. Notice will be sent out, and in the interim, the probation department, Ms. Wright, will make it clear to you what it is they need from you documentation wise, from Dawn Farms, from AANA, and whatever else they can do to assist you, okay?
Okay.
Your Honor,
Anything
did you
else,
want
Ms. Rep?
the date now, Your Honor, or
If you have it, yes.
October 17th?
October
17th.
17th. Is anything scheduled, or do you want to put this at 9 or earlier?
I believe nothing's scheduled yet, so we could do it at 9 o'clock if that works with Your Honor.
It works for me.
your-
October. Oh,
Your Honor, I'll be with counsel that day as well, so there'll be carryover for me and Miss Wright. So hopefully we can kind of move through things a little more quickly because I'll be familiar.
Wonderful, Mr. Hadley. October 17th, 9 a.m., back on Zoom. Judge Martin, you'll get a notice, Ms. Wright. And if anything comes up in the interim, again, don't hesitate to reach out. That concludes this. I'm sorry, Mr. Hadley.
No, you know what, Your Honor, I just thought of something. Miss Wright, you did mention there was an eviction. Does the court and does the probation have your current address and your current phone number? That way, I want to make sure that there's not any,
Yes, they do, but I've been working with the Sarah program. I just went to court like yesterday and they just set another court meeting for the 15th.
Okay, but if you have a change in address or change in phone number, please contact Miss Rapp in the court immediately, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Have a good day, Miss Wright.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you too.
That concludes this court's docket. We'll be in recess. Oh, we're adjourned for the day.
So,
Thank you, Ms. Rapp. Thank you, Mr. Hadley.
thank you, Your Honor. Real quickly, I just wanted to make sure, so for the David Randall, James Taylor, and Deontay Johnson, did we issue bench warrants on those?
There were already bench warrants on Mr. Randall. Bench warrants will issue in Taylor and Johnson.
Okay, I think they're just MIDC is trying to have me track kind of what I'm doing a little more closely, so I'm trying to get better about my details. So thank you.
I'm sorry, because they didn't appear, I did the failures to appear while you were in the breakout, but
I figured as much. Keep it moving. I appreciate that. Everybody have a great weekend. Good to see you all.
have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
You too, Ms. Rapp.